Imagine waking up tomorrow with $340 million in your bank account. No alarm clock, no boss, no bill that could ever scare you again. Sounds like the finish line, right? Now imagine this. 5 years later, you're filing for bankruptcy. Your family won't return your calls. The friends you bought houses for disappeared. And you're sitting in an apartment smaller than the one you had before you won, wondering how in the world you ended up here. That is not a made-up story. That is the documented reality for a staggering number of lottery winners across America. And the most disturbing part? It has absolutely nothing to do with math. It has everything to do with psychology. Because here's what nobody tells you when you hand someone an oversized check and a camera flash. The money didn't change their life. It exposed it, and what got exposed destroyed them. Let's talk about why. The first thing that happens when someone wins big, and I mean within days, is what psychologists call identity disruption. Think about it. Your entire life, you've been the person who struggles, who stretches the paycheck, who knows exactly what it feels like to choose between the electric bill and groceries. That struggle, whether you realized it or not, it was part of who you are. It shaped how you move, how you think, how you see yourself. Then overnight, it's gone. And your brain doesn't know what to do with that. Psychologists have found that sudden wealth doesn't just change your bank account. It creates a psychological identity crisis that most people are completely unprepared for. You don't know who you are without the struggle, and when you don't know who you are, you make decisions from a place of total chaos. Here's where it gets dangerous. The moment word gets out, and it always gets out, the people around you transform. The cousin who never called is suddenly texting every day. The old friend who disappeared 10 years ago just remembered you exist. Your own family members start showing up with business ideas, emergencies, and reasons why they deserve a piece. Psychologists call this social capital exploitation, and it hits lottery winners harder than almost any other group on earth. Because here's the thing most winners don't realize in time. Saying no to money requests doesn't just feel uncomfortable. For someone who grew up with nothing, it feels like betrayal, like you're abandoning the people who were there when you had nothing. So they give, and give, and give, until the accounts that looked infinite aren't. Now let's talk about something called sudden wealth syndrome. That's a real psychological condition, studied, documented, happening to real Americans right now. It shows up as anxiety, paranoia, guilt, and an overwhelming inability to make decisions. Guilt is the big one nobody talks about. A lot of winners, especially people who grew up working class, feel genuinely guilty for having money when the people they love don't. So instead of protecting the wealth, they spend it trying to erase the guilt. New cars for everyone, vacations, jewelry, houses, not out of generosity, out of psychological pain, and the money evaporates while the guilt stays. But here's the layer underneath all of it that really explains everything. Your money mindset doesn't update when your bank account does. There is a concept in psychology called financial identity. The deep, subconscious beliefs you carry about money, about what you deserve, about how safe it is to have wealth. If you grew up being told money is hard to come by, you believe that. If you grew up watching money cause stress and fights and broken families, your brain associates wealth with danger. So when $100 million lands in your account, your subconscious starts working overtime to get rid of it. Not because you're stupid, not because you're irresponsible, because your brain is trying to return you to what feels normal. And normal was broke. This is called self-sabotage rooted in scarcity programming, and it runs so deep that no amount of money can fix it without the psychological work to match. Here's the stat that should stop you cold. Studies have shown that a significant portion of lottery winners burn through their entire winnings within just a few years. Not all of them, but enough that financial advisors have a specific term for it. The lottery curse. Except it was never a curse. It was always a mirror. The money didn't ruin them. The money just showed them, and everyone around them, exactly what was already broken underneath. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. Wealth without the psychology to hold it is just a countdown timer. It doesn't matter if it's the lottery, an inheritance, or a business that blows up overnight. If your relationship with money is broken on the inside, no number on a check fixes that. The real lottery win isn't the ticket. It's doing the mental work before the money arrives. Because the people who keep generational wealth, they were never just smart with numbers. They were healed enough not to destroy what they built. Think about that the next time you buy a ticket.